Hey everyone, hi folks, it's Lev. Welcome back to another video. For those of you who are new and use hearing pronouns, it's spitting rain outside, so if there's like rain impacting the windscreen sound in this video, that's why. This topic I have talked about it on my channel before, but I haven't really talked about it much, and it's martial arts, and specifically this video is sort of dedicated towards everyone who's thinking about starting martial arts but maybe a little bit reluctant or hesitant to. A little bit of background about me. I've been doing martial arts for over 10 years now. I started when I was 13, when I was like in year 8, at the start of year 8 in high school. That's when I started Taekwondo. And I've been training pretty consistently, like when I was like in start of 2011 to like mid 2014. Very consistent training like 3 times a week. And then I developed a medical condition with my legs, which rendered me out of Taekwondo for over a year. I think at the end of 2015, I jumped back on the horse. But then during my uni years, 2016 to 2019, I was pretty like inconsistent with training. I was like on-off training. And then at the start of, in April of last year, I started boxing. And then I've been training consistently, boxing and martial arts in general, consistently again since April 20. Actually, I started boxing in April 2020, so that's like a year and 10 months already. What the hell? So yeah, April 2020 to now, I've been training consistently again. And when I started Taekwondo, like, I had no idea what I was signing up for. It's like my dad knew someone and then he invited me to come try out, and then I did try out. At this time, I had serious social anxiety as a kid. A lot of self-doubt, lack self-confidence, all of this not very helpful self-sabotage, essentially. And I was also a very chubby kid at this time. Very chubby. And I did it for, I think I got up to like yellow belt first dan or second dan. Dans are like the stripes on the belt. So I was like yellow belt, 1 stripe or 2 stripes. And I actually wanted to quit because it got challenging for me, and the teachers I had at the time, the instructors, they didn't give a damn about like the quality of their teaching, or like they weren't very encouraging either. And like I found out eventually that they're only there because they wanted money, and they didn't actually care about teaching students the art. They just there to make money. And there was like a few times where they expected me to perform like these more advanced kicks, and they actually hadn't taught me that kick, and they're like, do a jumping X kick, and I'm like thinking in my head, you never even taught me this kick, and then I couldn't execute the kick, and they were like putting me down for not being able to execute the kick. And just like the way of teaching just made me want to quit, because I was still a beginner, and then it made me feel not good enough. I wanted to quit, but then I didn't, because my dad was encouraging me. He's like, no, just stick with it. And I'm glad I did stick with it. And the time I started Taekwondo was like way before I came as trans and started living as a guy. So I was still living as a girl at this stage. And most of the instructors and students in my dojo were guys, like boys and men. There weren't many girls and women in the dojo. And I also remember like when I first started sparring, which is like controlled fighting with like protective body gear, like a chest guard, shin guard, arm guards, like controlled fighting with protective equipment, I had to fight with guys because I was a big girl at that time. Like I was a big girl. I was pretty tall, big girl. There were no other girls my size, my height, so I fought with guys, which at the time intimidated the shit out of me. The ultimate point I was trying to make with my story is that it was rough for me, and I started out with a lot of self-doubt, a lot of lack of self-confidence. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't think I was good enough for the sport or the art in general. I never competed. Didn't think I was good enough. This is not my thing. I'm going to quit. But I'm here to tell you that martial arts is for everyone. It's for everyone. And it's not just for like extremely fit people or athletes or people who are like super muscly and strong. Strength is part of it, one element of martial arts, but it is not the whole thing. And now I'm on the flip side of things, which is while I'm still learning and continuing to be a student, I also teach. I taught at my club before COVID-19 hit and stuff like that, and I also taught kickboxing as part of my job because I run a kickboxing group for participants in our mental health program, and I've been teaching them since September last year, which is like 4 or 5 months. And some of the stuff I was saying to the new students I had was that like it can feel awkward at first, and it might be a bit of an information overload, like learning the moves, learning the mechanics of punch, muscle memory and mind body connection to like throw the punch, kick, execute it with technique. And if someone's new to the martial arts, like their body might feel stiff and it just feels awkward throwing strikes. And I was saying like it's okay because everyone starts out like this. I didn't start out knowing how to throw a good punch or kick well or anything like that. It's taken years, literally hours and hours, days, months, years of repetition of literally the same thing for me to get the basics down and then eventually move up to more advanced stuff. But repetition of the same thing over and over again, and it's taken time for this whole thing, like throwing a punch, throwing a kick, to become muscle memory for me. I didn't come into Taekwondo and then I trained for one day and then boom, I know all the moves and I execute it well with proper technique. Like it doesn't work like that. And I was also saying to them, so one of them expressed like a little bit of reluctance and hesitancy in a way because she was saying I'm not very strong, and she thought that she couldn't do martial arts because she believed she wasn't very strong. And I was saying, yes, strength is one part of it, but that's not all of martial arts. Martial arts is also about technique. It's about like discipline. It's about perseverance. And I think that if someone is willing to learn and put in the effort and continue practicing and training despite it feeling awkward, despite what other people might say, despite how much self-doubt they have, the longer they train and the more practice they get in, the more we all will realize like, hey, we're actually improving, and that, hey, I'm actually good enough for this, whatever not being good enough may mean. It's because everyone starts as a beginner. Like again, I didn't start out knowing how to do a damn axe kick or throw a good punch or proper hook in boxing or uppercuts or know how to punch a heavy bag without hurting myself. I didn't start out knowing any of this. It's again practice, grit, repetition, effort, all of this. There is no secret formula where someone wakes up, boom, and they know everything. Like it doesn't work like that. And I also think part of this is like how the art is introduced to you. Like if you go to a dojo or someone and they like go like full on intense on you, and it's your first time doing martial arts, whatever martial art it may be, it's gonna be overwhelming and you're gonna think, and I would think too, well shit, I can't do this. What the hell is this? Like there's no way I can do this. But if someone introduces this in a gentle way where there's like it goes at the pace and level you're at and pace and level that you're comfortable at, and showing you technique, consulting with you whether like it's making sense, whether it should go a little bit slower, whether you're getting it and you like to go a little bit faster, just like being very active in communication with you and working at your level. I think that will be less intimidating than someone just going in full on intense training. As for the strength and technique thing, like strength is definitely one part of it, but it's only one piece of the puzzle. And if someone is like super buff and super muscly and has a lot of strength, but has absolutely no idea how to execute a move correctly, then someone who may be less muscly and strong, who knows how to execute technique correctly, will, I think, will deliver a more powerful strike. The ultimate point I want to make with this video is that you don't need to have a six-pack, be super muscly, be like this super strong giant, regardless of your gender. You don't need to be this super fit athlete or this super thin person who looks the part, whatever it may be. You don't have to be any of this in order to do martial arts. Like I said, I was very chubby when I was younger. I started out as this kid who was chubby, didn't look the part, had very bad anxiety, lacked self-confidence, self-doubt, self-sabotage, psychological self-sabotage all the time. And just me staying with it, my grit has led me up to this point. And I'm just like, just reflecting on the growth the past 10 years and how far I've actually come, not only in terms of my martial arts techniques and my skills and abilities and knowledge, but like the mental, psychological growth that has come with this journey as well. Because what I realize also is that martial arts, going on a martial arts journey, is not just about physicality. It's not just about learning how to punch and kick. It's sort of, for me, it's a way of life. Literally, martial arts is a way of life for me. Things I learn in the dojo and in training, I also carry with me outside of the dojo and outside of training sessions. Another example is like martial arts. The more I learn how to fight, the less I actually want to fight, as in get into a fist fight with people on the street, because I know how deadly strikes can be and how dangerous they can be. And slightly off topic, but like verbal de-escalation and talking out of it is my first approach. And if that doesn't work, or if some sort of situation escalates to the point where I'm at risk and I need to throw strikes to protect my life, then I will do so. But it's not like, oh, a conflict with someone, let me just punch them in the face first without trying to verbally de-escalate. Martial arts is also about, I think I said this before, but like discipline, like learning how to overcome barriers, whether it be physical barriers like, oh, I don't have enough stamina to perform these set of moves without being tired out, or just psychological barriers too, like, oh, thinking I can't do this, but hey, look, I did it. Overcoming mental barriers. The point is, there's a lot more to this martial arts journey than just building strength, technique, and knowing how to kick and punch properly. If this video helps at least one human out there, whoever you may be, wherever you may be in the world, then mission accomplished for me. Thanks for watching, folks, and I will see you in the next video.